Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Afi and I'm back again with another video. This video it's not gonna be a song inspiration because this is not like a gospel song, but I'm basically just gonna go through some lyrics and some meanings, and I hope you enjoy because this song just came out and I wasn't gonna post a video today because I was feeling so exhausted. But then I listened to this song and I was like, I have to talk about it because it's so good. And so, yeah, that's basically what this is. And I hope you enjoy. So, the song is called What Other People Say, and it's by Demi Lovato. It just came out. I think the video just came out today. And the lyric video came out I think like last week or something like that. So anyway, the lyric video just came out today, and no, the actual video, the official video just came out today, and that's when I listened to this song today morning when I woke up. And first of all, the reason why I wanted to speak about this song is because it's not a gospel song, but it's a very meaningful song. I feel like there's an idea that if something is not a gospel song, then it can't be meaningful. But this song is very meaningful, and I really like Demi Lovato because she's been very open about mental health and all the struggles she's had, like with addiction, all that stuff. So because she has been so open about it, I listened to this song and I just remember thinking, wow, this really sounds like her story, like she's saying it. So I was like, let me just Google a bit about it, and apparently, it's Demi Lovato and Sam Fischer. I didn't even say that. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but I think he's an Australian pop musician, pop singer, and I think he's the one who wrote the song, and someone else was supposed to sing on it, and then Demi had it, and she really liked it. So, yeah. So this song is very deep, actually, and so I'm just gonna jump into it. The first verse says, thought when I grew up I would be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. I would not give in, I would not partake in the same old drugs everyone else takes. And if you know a bit about Demi Lovato, then you know that she struggled with drug addiction for the longest time, and I feel like I'm always telling people around me about it just because I watched a documentary in 2016, her talking about it, and I remember I've actually always liked her. She was on Camp Rock, which was like my favorite musical when I was younger. I watched it like 20, maybe even 100 times, and I genuinely really loved it. And then in 2016 I watched a documentary, and every single time I watch it, because I've watched it more than once, I cry, like I just bawl my eyes out just because of how real it is. And then I remember listening to the song sober for the first time and telling one of my friends, I think she's relapsed, and the news hadn't come out yet, and I was like, I think she's actually relapsed, I'm not too sure, but this song doesn't sound like just another song. And then a few weeks later, maybe even just one or two, news came out that she relapsed, and I was like, what the like, I remember just wanting to cry because I felt as if I was part of her family. And anyway, so that happened. So this first verse, her saying that like when she grew up, she thought she would be the same as the ones who gave her last name. That's like her parents, right? And she says, I would not give in, I would not partake in the same old drugs everyone else takes. And that's just like her story, right? And the pre-chorus is, I'm better than that, I'm better than that, I'm living my life so I go to heaven and never come back. Look where I'm at, look where I'm at, I'm living the life that I said I wouldn't want to go back to. And I wouldn't want to go back. And I feel as if this is such a good song to come out after that whole drama. And a documentary of hers is actually coming out in March. Yeah, in March. A document, like a mini docu-series or something, is coming out in March, and I'm so excited to watch that. But it's basically documenting her story after the relapse happened, after she had an overdose. And I feel as if this song, to me, just like brought me back to her. Like, I wasn't listening to her music before. I know she's dropped a few singles like since it happened, but I haven't really listened to her music, and not because I don't like it. I listened to one, I can't remember what it was called, but I remember her crying about it, and I remember listening to the story, and it was so sad. Anyway, so I've listened to that, but I haven't really listened to her music. But then I just remember listening to this song and being like, this is her actual story, and whether or not she wrote it, she took it, and this is actually her story. It's very interesting how a song can just say what you're story is without you having written it. I think that's why I really like music. The actual chorus says, I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. But now I'm all messed up out in LA because I care more about what other people say. I used to not take chances with God's name, but it's been so long since I last prayed, and now I'm all messed up and my heart's changed because I care more about what other people say. And I think the idea that your life gets messed up because you care about what other people say. And she said she used to call her mom every Sunday, right? So that they can have that relationship. But now she's all messed up in LA, right? And that's where the news came from about the overdose, right? And then it says, I used to not take chances with God's name, but it's been so long since I last prayed. I remember watching a video of her speaking after the relapse, and I think it was actually last year or this year, I can't remember, but I remember watching it, and she was talking about how like she found her faith throughout this healing journey and all that stuff, and hearing about her saying that like she used to take God's name in, she used to not take chances with God's name, but then it's been so long since she last prayed. And I think also that speaks to so many people's stories, even more than just her own story. Like, you go from a place of being this good girl who went to church, who listened to her parents, and maybe good boy as well. I don't know how many men did watch my videos, but and yeah, so you go from this person who was so good, doing these good things that everyone says is good, and praying, and then you get messed up and you don't remember the last time you prayed, when you actually reflect one day and you realize that like you're all messed up and your heart's changed because you care more about what other people say. And I think in this world today, it actually becomes a bit of like people drag you for believing, and apparently it's not something people accept. Like, it's fine to say anything else but that you believe, because then you sound so stupid. But like, just hearing her reflecting about this, I think for me it's very interesting when people, especially people who've attained this amount of success that we're all craving, I think it's very interesting when I hear people speaking about God from that point, because it's like you can search for money, you can look for power, you can look for success, whatever success means, and either way you're still not going to be happy. You know, like, you still cannot be happy just with material things. So it's very, I think for me it's just always so enlightening. So the second verse, oh wait, actually, okay, so the post chorus is basically, yeah, because I care more about what other people say. But also, I'm saying that very lightly, but the way the song is structured, it sounds so good. I'm going to put it in the description box down below. I'm going to put the lyric video and the actual video, the official video. Okay, so verse 2, which is Sam Fischer who sings it, he says, I wish I could shelter the boy I knew from the constant hell I'd put him through. Because I'm all grown up and I'm black and blue. I could use some tape, I could use some glue. And I'm using this website called Genius, and here they usually sort of like pick out some lyrics and then they explain what that lyric means. I used to use that for Taylor Swift song. So anyway, he says, I wish I could shelter the boy I knew from the constant hell I'd put him through. And here the explanation is basically that like when he was younger, and I think it's actually him who wrote it, and he says something like when he was younger he says, if I could talk to kid Sam Fischer, I'd tell him to keep being his beautiful, flamboyant, talented, confident self and not listen when he was ashamed and bullied for just being himself. I felt like it was my fault that I was the way I was, like the way I was living wasn't right, and I was a really angry and sad kid behind closed doors. I'm in therapy now, and I'm so grateful for that, because I'm able to unravel so much of the pain and embarrassment I felt for just being myself, working on my happiness and loving myself every day now. And I think I think when you ask people, what would you tell your younger self, usually it's something like forgive yourself, give yourself time, like stuff like that. And I think that's exactly what he's saying here, right? I wish I could shelter the boy I knew from the constant hell I'd put him through, because he always thought that it was his fault. And I can relate 100%, honestly speaking, and I think so many people can, because it's like you grow up being told so many things, and at the end of it you blame yourself for so many things, for being the way you are and feeling like you're not good enough and feeling like you're not you're not the person that you are meant to be, or there's something you did wrong, just so many things. And the fact that he said this, I think so many people can relate with it. And he says, because I'm all grown up and I'm black and blue, right? So you're beaten down. And he says, I could use some tape, I could use some glue to just glue yourself back together, right? And I think it's very, I saw a post once that said, how can you break, oh, actually, I think this is a Kelly Clarkson song. It says, how can you break me when I wasn't whole in the first place? It's lines like that. I can't remember what the actual line was. It says something that my heart can't possibly break when it wasn't even whole to start with. And, just cross. I really like that. So the pre-chorus is, I'm better than that, I'm better than that. I should be living my life so I go to heaven and never come back. And then we go back to the chorus where it's like, I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. But I'm all messed up in LA because I care more about what other people says. And I think literally the entire song after that is sort of the same thing. So that's the chorus, then the post-chorus, and then the bridge says, I thought when I grew up I would be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. Where like we're sort of going back into that first line that Demi Lovato says, and this time it's Sam Fischer singing it. And I think we all grow up looking at our parents as these perfect beings, and I think I saw a post that said, like, you've grown up when you realize that your parents are also imperfect and they're all dealing with their own traumas. And I don't think the point of this song is to say that, like, your parents are imperfect. It's to say that we're all trying to attain this level of perfection we think that we need to get to. And so for Demi Lovato it was, and for Sam Fischer in this song, it was growing up to be the people who gave you your last name, where it's like you want to be like them, but can you ever be like them? I think if you're trying to be like anyone else, then you're never ever actually going to be the person you were meant to be. And so and I guess that's all about the song, because then it's just the chorus and the post-chorus. And I haven't even talked about like the song production, honestly. There's a choir that comes in towards the end that I'm just like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Like, especially for the last chorus where the choir is, and you're just like, wow. And the last post-chorus. And I love songs that like include a choir in them, like in the background. I've always loved it. And I think it came from Glee. When I used to watch Glee in high school, that was my favorite show as well. I watched it like a million times. My brother tells me he would never forgive me for the fact that he knows all those songs, but in Glee they used to do that once in a while. They would bring in like the choir feel of a song. Oh my god. And sometimes they would actually bring in a true choir, and you're just like, yes, this is the kind of music that I want to be listening to forever. So I really like choir. I highly recommend that you listen to this song. I think it has so many lessons. I think there's so much more that can be picked up from the song. This was just what came through for me, because I think this song actually, and I've talked about this before, I've been going through it, but and my thing has been, I don't know, I think I've just been beating myself up so much. And anyway, I listened to this song this morning, and I don't know what drew me so much to listening to this song, but thank God it did. But I did, and I just remember feeling so much better. Like, this is one of the few songs that has really helped me during this time when I feel like I'm going through it. And so I'm grateful for this song coming out. I highly recommend that you listen to this song. Let me know in the comments if you actually do enjoy this song, if you listen to it, and let me know if you know about Demi Lovato. I love talking about artists that I like. My friends get tired of me obsessing about people that I like. I'm always obsessing about the people that I like. Like, I can't even like stop it. But anyway, this video is getting too long, but I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you have, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below whether you enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you'd like me to do more secular and meaningful songs compared to gospel music. I don't mind doing secular music. I like gospel music. I honestly just like talking about what works for me. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm not really like trying to stay in one lane. So let me know what you want to see, and I will try my best to do it. So anyway, see you next time. Bye.